The invitation for my wedding should have arrived by now, correct? Please make sure to say no to the RSPV, please. We don't need you coming to my wedding after all.
What? Even though you guys went through all the effort of sending me this invitation?
That was only sent to you because I had no choice. At the most recent class reunion, I told everyone that I was getting married, right? And at the time, I said that I'd be inviting everyone from my class. Well, I went ahead and did all of that before I realized that you were in my class as well.
But everyone else says that they're going, so why do I have to be the one to stay away?
Because we don't need some ugly-looking emo like yourself bringing down the vibes of my wedding. If you were to actually come, the whole atmosphere would become cold and people would want to leave. So please, just like with the graduation ceremony years ago, read the air and stay away.
What?
I never thought that you would actually show up to this ceremony after everything, so I was laughing my butt off watching you walk across the stage. I'm sure you felt the same way as everyone else did when you brought down everyone's feelings that day, right? That's why everyone started to whisper for you to go home over and over as you stepped off the stage. But you actually did leave right after you grabbed your diploma, which none of us actually saw coming.
I remember what was going on that day myself. I was wondering then why everyone kept telling me to go home like that, and it made me feel very sad and unwanted. All of my friends were telling me not to worry about what you were saying, but I couldn't hold myself together and started to cry before I went home.
I know that was back in high school, and things have changed by a lot now, but ugly people like you stay ugly. No matter how much makeup you lap on yourself, you will never be able to get rid of that dark and ugly character you have. And to think that right now, after so many years have gone by, you're still working at base level job? The gas station, was it? I suppose that's the perfect job for you ugly emos then, huh?
Huh? I never really told you about what job I have currently, did I?
Well, I've heard from other people what you're doing. And what they've said is that you're too old now to still be working at a gas station. There's no way I'm going to let such a low life as yourself come to my wedding of all things. That is the wedding for a high school beauty contest winner who also happened to be the most popular woman in school after all.
I may not have changed much, but neither of you, really, Georgia. You were always belittling people like that, so I guess none of us have really changed much, have we?
Oh, sorry, hold on there. I'm not making fun of you right now because I want to. You've just chosen to continue living life below me as an ugly emo this whole time, Oakley. Now please make sure to say no to that invitation for me. I'll let everyone know on the day of that you ended up having to work a shift on the gas station that day, and that's why you couldn't make it. Oh.
Miss Oakley, are you really not able to make it to my daughter's wedding? That's coming up really soon. You made sure to take the day off that day, right?
Actually, there were some other things that showed up on that date. That's why I'm not going to be able to attend that day.
Oh, is that right? Is there no way you can say that you have an important wedding to go that day and maybe postpone some of the other things? It's going to be my daughter's wedding of all things, and I'd really like a person as important as you to be there.
What?
Georgia has already told me that she went and invited everyone from her class back in high school. I think the more people she has from back then coming to see her wedding, the more happy she'll be and the better memories she'll make. So could you please find some way to go to the wedding that day? I'm sure you don't want to keep listening to her mom go on and on about having you come to her wedding. But I'd really love for this wedding to go perfectly for her, and you would be able to make that possible.
You really are such a kind woman, Catherine. But you really don't have to be too worried about this. Even if the both of us were in the same graduating class together, her and I weren't all that close back in the day. I don't think it will bother her at all if I don't make it to the wedding.
Please, don't think something like that, Miss Oakley. There is also my husband and myself, right? Him and I are always talking about how so much you've done for us, so we'd really love for you to be there on our behalf. So, would you please?
I never thought I'd be asked this many times by you to be at your daughter's wedding of all things. You've always been a key member of the team for so long now, so it's a bit difficult for me to say no when you've asked so many times.
It should be. It should be. You have been working so much lately that you should take the day off to come and see my daughter get married. And if it's really going to be difficult for you to change plans around, then at least make around 10 minutes to just pop your head in. I would really like for as many people as possible to come and see my baby girl in her wedding dress.
Well, if that's all right by you, then I suppose I can come and pop my head in real quick. Then I'll be able to say to the groom and introduce myself and be off. If that's all right with you, then that'll be the plan I make.
That would be completely fine with me. Oh, I never thought that at my daughter's own wedding she'd be able to have you as a guest and finally be able to see the important side of one of her old high school friends. Oh, anyways, I'll be waiting for you on the day of her wedding then.
Why the hell have you come here, you ugly emo? I never asked for you to be at my wedding. Get the hell out of here, you low-life loser.
I shouldn't even have to be told to leave, as you can already see me leaving now. Also, what you just did was horrible. You came up behind me and pushed me right into the shallow pool that's at the front of the wedding hall.
Tell me how that was horrible of me. I was just making sure that my wedding is well-defined, is all.
Huh? That was you defending your wedding?
You came all the way out here with the intent of ruining my wedding, so I had to act before any of that could actually happen. The moment I found out where the terrorist was, I thought about what I could do to send them away and act. This is what normally happens to people like you, right?
Who are you calling a terrorist? What do you mean I came here to ruin your wedding as well? Why would I ever come here with the goal of doing that to you?
Stop trying to talk your way out of what you plan to do now, you terrorist! I told you well before today not to come to my wedding, right? And you still came walking right in like that warning was never given to you. I know you're only here for one reason, and that's to get in the way of my perfect day.
What?
I'm sure I hurt your feelings by making fun of the fact that you work at a gas station, right? That's why, with all that pent-up anger you have for me now, you've come here to ruin the most important day of my life. That's something I can definitely see an emo like you doing.
I told you that's not why I'm here, Georgia. I came here just to pop my head in and say hi. I get that you really, really hate me for many, many reasons. So to try and keep us from getting into any fights, I was just coming for a few minutes with the plan of going right back home.
Huh? Are you trying to piss me off now by saying that you, a lowlife, came all the way here with the intent of saying hi before going back home? Ah! I never said that I needed an ugly emo like yourself here saying hi to any of my guests. You're literally nothing compared to me, you loser. Yet you came here thinking it'd be alright even if it were for a couple of minutes? I'm not sure how much more of a presumptuous action I can handle. Oh.
Presumptuous? I was not doing anything cheeky by coming here for a few minutes. I understand that for a very long time now you have hated me, all right? But you can't continue to act like a child by attacking me when you are old enough to be put in jail for things like that.
Oh, as a gas station employee who's in her late 20s now going to start preaching to me about what's right and what's wrong? Someone like me who's getting married to a man who works as an elite for a massive company? Someone like me who's going to live the rest of their life as a housewife in the penthouse in one of the tallest buildings in this city has ever seen. Don't make me pee myself by trying to act all smart, you low-life part-timer.
So you really are just going to continue with the belittlement until the day you die, huh? I can really tell now that no matter what I try and say to you, you'll never listen to me.
Oh, so you finally come around to realizing that someone like me can't ever understand the crazed thoughts of a lowlife? Well, now that you've realized your loss, go ahead and leave this place in your completely drenched dress. My wedding is starting really soon here, so I want you gone before that happens.
I'm going home, all right? You don't have to keep telling me to. But before I go outside, can you at least give me a towel or something? I won't even be able to ride in a taxi with how wet I am right now.
Oh, wow. Just what I expected from a lowlife. You're like a homeless beggar asking me for a towel right now so that you can dry yourself off.
Huh?
I know what this is all about now. You came to my wedding today to try and get to all the really delicious food I'll have prepared for everyone today, right? You must only ever get to eat all the day-old stale food that comes out of the gas station, right? So, you thought that today you'd be able to come sneak into my wedding looking to grab yourself a bite or two of this really delicious food.
What?
But I'm really sorry, Oakley. There's no amount of food here that I'd be willing to serve to a low-life beggar such as yourself. So, would you please give up now and leave already?
Would you frickin' stop it with all this belittlement, please? Can't you see how far you've gone now, calling me a homeless beggar and all that, on top of calling me a terrorist?
Huh? What's with that attitude? The one that came to my wedding after being told not to come was you. I won't have an ugly emo coming to my wedding. There's not a chair prepared for you here. Not for the wedding and not for the lunch.
All right, I'm leaving then.
Hurry the hell up, loser. I told you from the very beginning not to come here. Yet this gas station working lowlife of an ugly emo came all the way out here causing me trouble. A massive loser like yourself needs to keep eating that crappy gas station food for the rest of your life.
Then your mother is going home as well.
What?
I actually quite enjoyed my job at the gas station and find the food here to be really nice. But I'm sorry, however, that your low-life mother has caused you so much embarrassment.
Uh-huh? My mother? Wait, what?
Everyone has different views, I know that. So I'm not going to say anything to you about your views on who is a lowlife and who's working stupid jobs, even if I am your own mother. But there is one thing a mother like me can say, and that's that you're pushing someone into a shallow pool like that is unacceptable.
Wait a second. You're my mom? What? Is that really you, Mom? Why the hell would my mom be texting me through that loser's phone right now?
I couldn't watch what was going on anymore, so I went and took Miss Oakley's phone from her. I never ever thought that even my daughter could be vicious to someone else as you've been to someone like her. I'm so embarrassed by you right now that I had to do something about this.
What?
You've really shown me your true side, Georgia. The side of you that would push someone as important as Miss Oakley into the water. When I saw that happen, I had no idea what to do or say because I had frozen up out of shock.
Wait a second, Mom. Why do you keep calling her Miss Oakley? Why are you being so polite to such a low-life scum as her? Who said she could be treated that way?
Well, she happens to be the owner of the company that runs the gas station I work for. I don't care that you have such feelings against her, and that you've carried all the way from high school. She's my boss, and I will treat her as such. And that's the reason why I call her Miss Oakley instead of viewing her as your old classmate.
Huh? Your boss? Wait, Mom, you're working at a gas station right now? And you're telling me that Oakley's the owner of that gas station?
That's what I'm saying. I told you a while ago that I was going to start working again, right? All of my kids were finally out of the house, and I had nothing to do with all this time besides sit around and watch TV. I talked with your dad a little bit about it, and we agreed that I should get myself a part-time job, which is where I am right now.
I heard about all of that, but I never knew you were working at a gas station. I was thinking you worked for a supermarket or a cafe in the neighborhood. I was thinking that you of this whole time, but you've actually been working at a gas station?
I was thinking about working at a place like the local grocery store as well, but then your dad gave me some advice. He told me that working at places such as that, where everyone else around me is old, would require me to pick up slacks for all of them. He then recommended that I go somewhere lots of young people work, as the workload would be more even there.
So then you decided on working for a gas station?
A lot of the gas stations around our house looks for part-time workers all the time. But when I went to the one closest to the house, I never thought I'd be hearing about how the owner of the company was Miss Oakley. And as of right now, she's running around 12 different gas stations. So I have to really respect her for that, because she doesn't even hand off orders to people below her to run her gas stations. She will go to each and every one of them with all of the time, making sure the management is in shape and that the rest of the employees are doing their jobs well.
What?
From what I've heard, she's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. But even with all that money she's making sure it doesn't all get to her by coming out to be with the people that makes her business happen. Because of that, I have a lot of fun working at the gas station and always feel as though even my voice is heard.
Huh?
At this particular gas station, there are a lot of high schoolers and college students working part-time. There are also people that want to become actors working part-time here, and those that were down on their luck but are trying to improve their lives now. I really enjoy talking to and working with all different kinds of people from all different backgrounds, as it makes the day go by and I learn plenty of new things. And considering I'm pretty far up in ages now, a lot of the youngsters there will teach me how to use new features on my smartphone and such.
Oh, you seem so happy about being there.
I get to meet all kinds of people from our part of the city as well that comes in to get snacks and drinks. I get to see little kids that I've never really gotten talking to with anymore, and some old friends that I haven't seen in so long. Being able to have so much social interaction with everyone makes this part of my life so enjoyable. But my own daughter is saying someone like myself is a low life because of where I work. There have always been people around making fun of that work part-times at base-level jobs, but the fact that I've now had to learn my own daughter is just like those narrow-minded people breaks my heart.
Hold on,
I'm going home as well now. I was expecting to cry and sob a lot today at my daughter's wedding as I watched her marry her love, and that's why I brought this little towel and handkerchief. But to think I'd have to be using them to dry my boss off at the front of the building. I'm going to take Miss Oakley home in my car now, so that she doesn't have to worry about getting a taxi.
What? You're actually going home? Hold on now. Are you being serious right now?
Of course I'm serious. You were just being serious with my boss a little bit ago. right? That low-life gas station workers like her should get lost.
Oh, wait, Mom, that was, I might have gotten carried away. I didn't actually think that you'd take something like me saying to go home personally as well. Now, come on, Mom. You can stop joking about going home with her, all right? There's no way you'd let your daughter have a wedding without her mother around, right?
I sure haven't ever seen a wedding before where the mother was told to leave before it started. Then perhaps you'd better off just canceling the wedding so that something like that won't have to happen.
Huh.
And then you can have a talk with your fiancé, Marcus, about why the wedding was canceled.
Wait. There's no way this wedding is being canceled. All of our friends and family are here and ready to go now. And why are you even talking about Marcus right now, Mom?
Well, that's because he's standing right beside Miss Oakley and myself right now.
Marcus is?
When he saw me running over to see Miss Oakley, he wanted to see what was going on and came rushing over as well. He said to her, "Are you all right, Miss Oakley?" and things like that as he came up. He apparently saw what you did to her as well. So right now he has his jacket over Miss Oakley, trying to keep her warm so that she doesn't catch a cold or anything. I am so shocked that a kind and selfless man such as him thought it would be a good idea to marry you.
Wait a sec. Why is my fiancé calling her Miss Oakley as well?
How about you ask your fiancé about that? Now both my boss and I are going to be heading home. You go and choose whether you still want to have your wedding, or if you rather just cancel it and save yourself some of the embarrassment. I'm not going to help out with that choice, though.
Hey! There's no way, right? There's no way that my Marcus is working part-time at one of your gas stations. That has to be some kind of messed up joke, right? You haven't hired my fiancé to work for you, right?
Right now, Marcus is working for another one of my gas stations on the other side of the city. Not only has he been working for me for a while now, but he's really enjoyed his job there and gets all the work he's asked to done in a very efficient manner. But I never thought that that man would end up being your fiancé of all people.
No way. So then everything he's been saying to me is true?
So you were just about to marry the guy, yet you had no idea what he was doing for work or anything?
I didn't have to know. I was believing everything he had told me. He told me he came from a really strong university and he was working for a massive company. He even told me about how efficient he was with his work, making him the top employees with his place of work. He told me all of that, hence why I chose to get married to him. Yet, instead, it turns out he's really been working at a gas station this whole time. He never told me that a year ago, the company he was working for had got some layoffs and he was let go.
How about you calm down there, Georgia? Have you really not heard the rest of the story from him? The company may have laid him off, but that was only before it was bought out by an even better company. And that company has been asking him to go and work for them now that they see his potential. He has been in the works of going to their interviews, but in the meantime, he's been relaxing while working for me.
Who cares about all that? That doesn't change the fact that he was let go by the previous company and had to work for you at a gas station. He shouldn't have lied to me about working at a gas station, right?
I'm sure it wasn't right for him to hide that fact from you.
Who would want to marry a man like him? I'm done. I don't want him anymore. I'm canceling this wedding, and from here on out, I am no longer together.
What? So you're actually canceling the wedding?
Well, of course. I would never get married to this man that works part-time at a gas station. And my mom already went home as well. I don't want to have this wedding if I won't be able to brag to all my friends about the man I've married anymore. I'm canceling this marriage and this wedding right now.
I'm not really sure you should have been getting married so that you had something to brag about in the first place, but...
Shut up! Don't start to talk like that to me just because you make some decent money. Don't even try picking on me now just because my mom works for you.
I'm not trying to be rude to you, and I'm definitely not picking on you either. Georgia, the way you are now is really disappointing. No matter what anyone tries to say to you, you just go off the rails and start fighting everything. Oh, well, I guess if you want to keep throwing a fit like that, then please go right ahead and cancel that wedding. And make sure to tell your hard-working fiancé that things are off as well.
What the hell is that attitude?
Ah, and after all those invites you sent out to have the whole high school class here, the most popular woman from high school's wedding was today. I'm sure a lot of people were hoping to see something really amazing here, but now it's being canceled. And the mother of said popular woman ran back home. I really want to see how you're going to explain to everyone there why you're having that wedding canceled.
Yeah, you! Are you playing with me right now? I bet you're smiling and laughing right now, watching me go through all this crap like I deserve it or something, right? I'll tell you right now that what's happening between you and I is going to stay a secret. You and I will keep this secret that I'm leaving my fiancé because he works at a gas station. Don't you ever tell a single person why this wedding is really over with.
What should I do here? You and I aren't that close to one another, so will I really keep such a tremendous promise with you?
What? What?
Now you have fun telling all the staff that the wedding is canceled. Good work today. I'm going to stop talking to you now. Georgia tried her best to tell everyone that her wedding was being canceled due to her mother having a bad fall and needing to go to the hospital. She then went and told her fiancé that things were off because he had lied to her about being laid off and having to come work for me at a gas station. He was pretty upset by what happened there, but he knew it was partially his fault for not telling her the truth when things happened. But just a few days later, he received a call from the company he was interviewing with, and they told him he had gotten the job. It turned out that the new company, who had bought the company he was laid off from, heard stories about his skills from all the employees they took on, and so they wanted him back and moved into the position of department manager. He was also given a raise due to all the troubles he had faced from being laid off during what one could call a corporate buyout of the last company. And that, to me, sounds like a great deal. When Georgia learned about how he got that new job within the massive new company, she ran back to him hoping they could get back together. But by that point, he was totally over her and said for her to get the hell away from him. This was also around the time a lot of the guests from Georgia's canceled wedding began to catch on to what the real reason was for the wedding being canceled. Now, Georgia has been trying to get a hold of her mom to say that she was sorry for what she'd done and all the lying, but to this day, her mom has still managed to ignore all those calls and texts.